Mathew 17:14-20, 21. I'll read it for you guys. I think version natumia sahi ni NIV. Acha ni switch to Holman cause mimi ni fan wa Holman sana. But Mathew 14. But nimependa title ya NIV where inasema Jesus heals a demon possessed boy. Unajua people cannot even kaa hivi wanafikiria, wait a minute, can a boy be possessed by a demon? Unajua saka hivi ufikirie ni kama mademons na shetani anakuanga na huruma, huyu ni mtoto, wachana naye. But I tell you, don't joke. Na mtu anasemanga the devil is not your friend. If a boy can be demon possessed, meaning the shetani anangana ku attack someone from when they are children. Imagine. Remember the story of Jesus akizaliwa, how the king, as by the time I think he wanted to kill Jesus. Remember story of Moses. These were people who are demon directed, ama demon possessed, ama demon led. Because when your rightful mind uko like tuwe watoto wote, all male children, who's leading you to do that kama si mashetani? If it's not demons, if it's not the devil. So this story is about Jesus heals a demon possessed boy. This is a true story. See jokes. His story is a jabba. Think about this. Jesus heals a demon possessed boy. When they reached the crowd, a man approached and knelt before him. Lord, he said, have mercy on my son, because he has seizures and suffers severely. He often falls into the fire and often into the water. A young boy. This is a cry a parent, knowing how his child was suffering. I brought him to your disciples. They couldn't heal him. This is a parent. His child is suffering. He, of course, has heard about Jesus and everything he was doing, right? And he knows Jesus has disciples. So he's like, if Jesus was doing this, maybe his disciples are able to do the same. So he does this. It was a time when Jesus wasn't necessarily around. He brought him to his disciples. And yet his disciples couldn't heal him. Underline that last word. Verse 16. I brought him to your disciples, but they could not heal. They could not heal him. Jesus replied. Notice Jesus' reply. You unbelieving and rebellious generation, how long will I be with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring him here to me. Easy words of verse 17. Who was he telling? Was he telling the father, or was he telling his disciples? Wacha nirudie. When they reached the crowd, Matthew 17, a man approached and knelt before him. Lord, he said, have mercy on my son, because he has seizures and suffers severely. He often falls into the fire and often into the water. I brought him to your disciples, but they couldn't heal him. This gentleman brought his son before Jesus. Kwa nini ako like, your disciples could not heal him. My son is suffering. He has seizures and often falls into the fire. I brought him to your disciples. They could not heal him. This father is like, my son is not normal. He needs to be normal. He needs to be healed of this. In short, this is what this parent is saying. I am a parent and I really understand. Jesus replied, you unbelieving and rebellious generation, how long will I be with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring him here to me. I was asking, if verse 17, who was Jesus telling this verse 17? To all of them, not his disciples. To his parent pia. Because the parent amepeleka mtoto wake kwa Yesu. Yesu ampo, anamwambia, nimepelekea disciples wako, hakuna kitu amefaa. They could not heal him. Jesus hapo ako like, you unbelieving and rebellious generation, how long will I be with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring him here to me. Who was he telling these words? Has to be his disciples. How long must I be with you? Right? Ako like, you guys are unbelieving and rebellious. Alijuaje? That he must have been seeing such tendencies in his disciples. Saa zingine wamwamini, saa zingine wana rebe. Anatuma mtu afanye kitu, saa zingine anafanya Ako like, you unbelieving and rebellious generation, how long will I be with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring him here to me. Easy words. Was he telling the parent, or was he telling the disciples? Who was he telling these words? Ama it's debatable, right? Then verse 18 anatufunza kitu poa. Then Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of him. And from that moment, that boy was healed. What did Jesus do? The parent comes na ako like, Jesus, here is my boy. He suffers seizures. Na sazingine naanguka kwa fire, meaning he's epileptic. I've brought him to your disciples, they couldn't heal him. This is like, bring him to me. And what does Jesus do? Just number one does something. He rebukes that demon. And when Jesus rebuked that demon did what? It obeyed and came out. Najua kuna watu wana rebukingi demons, but those demons don't obey them, hawatoki. So mark his words vizuri. Because remember earlier, his disciples couldn't heal the boy. His disciples walishi? But here Jesus hajashindwa. Just iko like, how long must I put up with you? Bring it. Then ako like, Jesus rebuked the demon. It came out of him. And for that moment, that boy was healed. Verse 19, that's so important. Then the disciples approached Jesus privately and said, why couldn't we drive it out? The disciples approached Jesus privately. Now kamuliza, why couldn't we drive it? Verse 20 inasema nini? Anaambia, you guys, you could not drive this demon out because you have little faith. Ako like, little faith cannot drive. Imagine little faith kwani cannot drive a demon out. I don't know, versions zenyu different nasema nini. NLT nasema, you don't have enough faith. KJV ndo ina use the best words, unbelief. Meaning the writer ako like, little faith, not enough faith is the same as unbelief. We can conclude like that. To compare all these versions of the Bible. Meaning little faith, not enough faith is equal to unbelief. Is unbelief. Am I teaching good or am I confusing? Why do you have little faith? Why do you not have not enough faith? You doubt. Right? Why do you have little faith? You doubt. You doubt. That's why unakumbuka last weekend nikiwaambia, and of course nikiambia na mtu nitakujia na ndege, I'm sure she will doubt. Right? She will doubt. No offense, she will doubt. Na mimi nitamuliza kama the husband, sweetheart, kwani you don't believe in me? Hauniamini? As all husbands we can do that. We can ask our wives, you don't believe in me? You don't believe in my potential? Why don't you believe in me? Na tunajam tuko like, my wife doesn't really believe in me. Then Christ anasema kitu ya maana, anaendelea anasema, for I assure you, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will tell this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. However, this kind does not come out except by prayer and fasting. What was Jesus talking about here? It is highly confused ama misinterpreted by many people to mean that Jesus, what he's meaning, Jesus means that there are some demons which are so big that haziwezi toka unless prayer and fasting. It is highly confused by many people. But you'll realize this, there is nowhere in scripture where Jesus, hata kwa life ya Jesus, he demonstrated that there were big demons that zililemea Yesu. Jesus only prayed and fasted once, as recorded in the Bible, and had nothing to do with casting out demons. Had nothing to do. Only after even praying and fasting, he was able to say no to the devil. Vizuri sana. When the devil tried to introduce some doubts, you could notice Jesus was so sure, so firm. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. I shall not put God into test. Why do you want me to test God? I cannot test God. akimwambia throw yourself, for God may command angels zikushike. Jesus ako like, I cannot test God. Why do you want me to test God? I do not doubt God to try and test God. The devil came to him and told him, bow down and worship me, I will give you all these riches before me. Kristo akasema hapana. Of course, upon also man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. So ukisoma this text in relation to that, what is Jesus actually saying? Christ ako like, he's rebuking them up because of their unbelief, their little faith. Meaning, faith the size of a mustard seed is not even considered little faith. However, a mustard seed is usually a small seed. Onasemanga is the smallest seed on earth. Christ ako like, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you will do what? You will speak. You will tell this mountain, move from here and to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Ako like, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible to you. You can tell a mountain to move and it moves. Verse 21 nasema, however, this kind does not come out except by prayer and fasting. Meaning Jesus alikuwa like, you guys have little faith. You guys have unbelief. You guys have doubt. Cause if you even had a small faith the size of a mustard seed, you can even tell a mountain to move and it moves. Meaning you could have even commanded that demon out, but you did not, because you have unbelief, you have doubts. This kind of doubt and unbelief does not come out except by prayer and fasting. That's what he means.